Okay, perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So like I said, I'm Gab. I've been in the e-commerce agency world actually for quite some time. I come from the Lunar Solar Group and Hawk Media. And so with that, I actually got to be familiar with Okendo because one of my brands wanted to take a demo of the platform. And once I hopped in, I was like, wow, okay, this is much better than what I've been recommending. So I shifted my agency recommendations over, and then I ended up shifting myself over when the time came. So with that being said, we will chat a little bit about Okendo. I'll give, again, like a brief product overview, chat through some integrations and pricing. I know your team is pretty well versed in Okendo reviews, but we have Okendo Connect, which is a newer product that we launched in September of last year. So hopefully this will be interesting. I don't really believe in death by demo. So if you guys have any questions, comments, expansions, anything that I could be helpful with, like just stop me as I'm on my roll. I'm happy to kind of take a pause and keep going. Cool. So without further ado, we are Okendo. We've been around since really officially 2018 when we launched in the App Store. We have more than 7,000 of your favorite Shopify brands that you're working on and with and probably buying from. You know, the Okendo platform is really a customer marketing platform that helps brands collect ratings and reviews and really go to like drive maximum on-site conversions, build trust and drive sales, get more qualified shoppers, and grow your loyalty and customer lifetime value. So with that being said, you know, there are three core differentiators to Okendo, and it's product, service, and pricing. You know, in today's world, brands are facing a ton of challenges in building stronger customer relationships and really growing the business in general. You know, based on a recent McKinsey study, more than 75% of consumers are expecting personalization as the default standard of engagement. And I read something yesterday that said that somewhere in like the 60% range of customers were upset when there wasn't a personalized experience directed directly at them. So personalization is really often the defining characteristic of a delightful customer experience, but as we all know, with increasing privacy regulations and data controls, effective personalization is hard to obtain. And it's expensive to run paid advertising, right? Privacy changes have disrupted the economics of social media advertising. And at this point, there's a ton of competition. So, you know, Okendo Reviews was our first step and solution towards helping merchants build stronger relationships. So we allow brands to collect product feedback, which is like high value, authentic customer generated content from ratings, reviews, visual user generated content, Q&A, basically allowing these brands to start a dialogue with their customer, right? Demonstrate that you care about these experiences by responding to opinions, right? Give thanks for your positives, but address your negatives. Also really goes to showcase communities that like you're listening to your customers, having an engaged and hopefully happy community of customers basically will allow your shoppers to, you know, learn from customers the information that they need to like feel confident in making that purchase. And then there was a level of customer insights as well, where, you know, you're gaining insights into the profiles of individual customers from their demographics, their preferences and behaviors. And Okendo Connect is really the solution for achieving all of these objectives. So what Connect does is really kind of automates the collection of like mission critical customer intelligence, we'll call it, which are insights sourced directly from your customers about their preferences, behaviors, and experiences, making that data available across your tech stack where and when it's needed. So that way your brands can apply customer insights across all business areas, from acquisition, on-site conversions, marketing attribution, ongoing lifecycle communications. It's really like the secret weapon to deliver a differentiated experience, and really become truly customer centric. So that was a whole lot of jargon. I'm going to hop into a bit of a platform demo. I might we'll chat about Okendo reviews first, and then we'll touch on Connect. So Okendo reviews, I know you're all relatively familiar with. It's super flexible and very customizable, right? And it's very easy to achieve all of this. We have a no-code styler. We have the ability to get a bit more hands-on if you need anything that's like more complex. But you're able to collect information like age range, personal habits, things of that sort. So with Born Primitive, for example, it's an athletic wear brand. They're collecting information about like the performance that these people are actually doing when they're using their products. Once they find out that Kim is a weightlifter, they'll put her into a Klaviyo sequence, for example, where they're speaking directly to people who are weightlifters and normally wear a size small. Maybe there's a certain back brace belt that would be helpful. The cold plunge is also doing something similar, where they're getting a sense of frequency of use and what the temperature is and what the customers are seeing as product standouts. A daily cold plunge user is going to be in a completely different mindset than somebody who has purchased this and has not ended up using it or does not use it frequently. And you really should be able to kind of customize and specialize based on this information that you're getting. But even on a customer front end perspective, my understanding of this person's background now will also give me a bit more confidence in making this decision. So it's very, very customizable, very easy to use. We are also mobile optimized. We're actually mobile first, as we find that more than 80% of reviews are coming from mobile. And our widget is very lightweight and doesn't have a significant impact on page load. We find that other platforms in the market do represent a negative impact. And as we all know, site speed is an absolutely crucial part of conversions. So we pride ourselves in being lightweight and easy. Sometimes you'll find that the Okendo PDP is the first thing to load. The Okendo widget is the first thing to load on the PDP. So we try to be as unintrusive as possible. And we find that across all of our brands, right? We have brands who have migrated over because they hit the same issues with their other providers, where their user-generated content is not really coming in, it's not able to be displayed. So with Born Primitive, they migrated over to Okendo, put star ratings and customer content all over their website, just at like key points in the buying journey. And then they added the 460 integration to showcase Instagram content through the site and display star ratings. So, with those changes, they found a 60% reduction in tech costs, a 3.3% time increase in their PDP conversion rate, and a massive increase in their user-generated content generation rate. Just because it's very easy to use Okendo. It's very simple to just kind of upload something and keep moving. So with all of that, I'll take a pause here. Does anybody have any questions on Okendo reviews? I've got a hand. Yes, Ryan.
So I don't understand. So how does it work from like, as a user, I come onto the website and then I leave the review? Like, do I have to fill out a bunch of information? Because it seems like a lot, more than obviously just leaving stars, but like, do you have to log in and do something, or how does that work?
Yeah, definitely. So you have the ability to put your review like either via the PDP,
Okay.
but there are also email requests that should go out. We have a native mail function within Okendo where you can send out your reviews via Okendo itself. Otherwise, you can send out via Klaviyo or Postscript. It's meant to be very simple, right? So you click in, you leave your review, you can add your photos here, and then if you don't choose to submit any of this, you could just like carry on and just submit it. But the more information that you submit, it's just helpful, but nobody's obligated to complete everything.
Right. I feel like this is really great for user generated content. But I'm just curious, like, do people really fill out all of this stuff?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. They definitely do. I mean,
This
so
is
we've got
more than Amazon reviews, like with the sizing and stuff. That's very detailed. I really like it a lot.
it's pretty detailed. I
Yeah.
mean, but you know, the thing about it is that like you need to know what you're getting into, right? Like the economy is pretty tough. If I'm spending $50 on a skin serum, I need to make sure it's gonna work for me,
Yeah.
right? And I think that people want to give these pieces of information so that way they get those recommended products, right? So you could filter as well. So if I have normal skin and I'm kind of light medium, we'll put my age in here too, and I'm concerned about fine lines. Now I've found everybody who quite literally looks like me.
That's cool.
It's really, really helpful.
Yes.
On like a new customer level, again, because there has to be some kind of consideration with all these products, and you can get to be really smart here, which is fun.
Yeah, that's super cool. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Any other questions for me, guys? Cool. I'll keep moving. Wonderful. So with that, let's chat about Okendo Connect. So Okendo Connect is basically a hypercharged surveying tool. So traditional survey tools are kind of static and siloed. Okendo Connect allows for continuous in-moment insights from your consumers at really any point in the buying journey. What we're able to do is use like very contextually relevant surveys based on triggers and different actions that are very seamlessly integrated into that customer experience. We can target audiences based on actions and any profile characteristics. And it's a really frictionless experience that we find like more than 30% response rates. And it really just allows for like a continual stream of accurate and actionable data, just to create that winning e-com experience. And you can run one or more channel surveys simultaneously and continuously. So for example, you can have a shareable link survey in your TikTok or Instagram bio where you're asking for phone number, marketing opt-in, and then like eye color or dog breed or what would be relevant to the brand. And then you've turned your social media follower into a marketing ready contact. You can also do an NPS or a CSAT survey just to get an understanding of customer experience. We recommend that those are always running. Or something like an abandoned cart survey based on an exit intent. Like when somebody goes to move their cursor to the exit the page, we can ask like, hey, why didn't you end up completing this? We're able to also personalize the survey pathways based on responses. So if I responded that I have a Labrador here, Labradors are bigger dogs. Maybe you'll throw me into, and my next question will be something about like, how much food does he eat or something similar. It's a good thing I'm not on your marketing team, but you're able to make sure that you kind of accelerate that information there. And we can offer coupons as survey rewards. And very soon we'll be able to offer loyalty points as well. One very cool differentiator here as well. Oh, hi, Ryan.
I just think this is so cool. I'm not gonna lie, but so
It's very cool.
It is. So with the survey though, so you do have to
Yeah.
log in and then start answering the survey questions
So
as a
you don't necessarily need to log in. You have the ability. We have the ability to run a couple different surveys, right? So we've got that shareable link, which can be sent or kept in your social media channels, can be sent in an email or an SMS. We have like a post checkout or post review. So after you've made a purchase, it would go like right at the top of that checkout
okay.
box. And then post review would be after you've left a review, like, how did you think of your experience with Ilia Beauty overall, or something similar? Um,
So does Okenda have like I'm thinking template, but that might not be the right word for brands to use because it seems like a lot, to tell a brand like, oh, this is so cool, but it seems like it might be a lot of work for them to have to get all the questions and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It is a fair amount of work, but not on your side and definitely not on the
Right.
brand side. However, I mean, if you want to really get your hands dirty, you can start from a blank template. But we have a ton of pre-built surveys here. So I'll take one just for example, but just ranging from conversion rate optimization, questions, customer experience, market research, personalization, and product research. So let's say we're running this abandoned cart survey. We want to get a sense as to why somebody didn't end up making a purchase. Again, we can add conditions if we think that if somebody answers planning to buy later, then we're going to skip to question 2, which says, well, when is later? Or here's 20% off for next time, or what have you. So once you're happy with this, you would just have to save it. And we're going to save this. And then we're going to figure out where we're going to place it. So you can put this, again, shareable link, post checkout, post review, or on site pop up. And then we'll be able to then determine like what kind of filters would apply. You can also make sure that you have everything styled, any conditions, right? So immediately when something happens, this is when the survey would pop up, where and when. But it really is meant to be like very plug and play. So all you'll need to do is just go through, make sure it looks like what you want it to do, and then hit add.
Love it. I love this.
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
really powerful.
it is.
Um,
You can do a lot of stuff with this. Yeah.
and one really cool thing is the contextual targeting feature, right? So if we know that somebody has already answered that they have a Labrador, then the next question would be, well, how often do you go and walk your dog? We want to make sure that you as the brand and you as the agency are always collecting the most relevant information and always enriching those profiles, right? So just as we have the surveys pre-built, we also have all of those triggers loaded and those filters loaded. So a trigger is anything from page load to time on page, exit intent, add or remove to cart. And the filters are like what audiences, right? So profile properties or session behaviors or survey interaction histories or any custom properties that you create via your API. So something like maybe tagging somebody as an influencer or a power buyer or something similar. So we're able to continually like enhance that profile. So that way, these dynamically updated question fields will continue to collect missing customer information. So we know Heather likes bronze jewelry. We're going to figure out, does she like rings or earrings better? And then based on those pieces of information, you can put her in the right flows, right?
Right.
All of the information that comes from Okendo Connect is ported into Klaviyo, into your customer data profile. So if she likes bronze, put her in the bronze flow. If somebody said, I abandoned my cart because you had insufficient shipping options, once the brand affects that change, send out a segment to everybody who said that and say, hey, we just made some changes. We think you're going to be really happy to see this. Here's 15% off. Like, come back and give us a shot. That's really powerful and
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, this is super cool.
I'm glad you like it too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting, pretty cool. And again, we have like more than 100 predefined customer attribute properties. So we have the ability to have all of these surveys put together, right, and all of those triggers put together. You can absolutely come up with your own if you so choose. But we've started out with a pretty heavy basis there. Because there are so many use cases, and you should be able to just kind of turn them on or get some inspiration and then plug and play, rather than have to like start from ground zero, right? Because it's hard to start from ground zero. You don't even really know where zero is, right? So with that, we have a large retailer called Integrity Botanicals, where they're basically like a smaller version of Sephora. They carry like a collection of other brands. So they quite literally just conducted some market research and asked their customers what brands they wanted to see on the site. So they sent these out via email and SMS, like at a couple different stages of the buying journey, from a pop-up on site asking just a visitor, to somebody who had made a purchase already, to, again, their power users. And by using this conditional logic, they also were asking additional questions to the power user that they weren't asking to the first time viewer. So they saw like a 73% completion rate. And not only did they find additional beauty products to stock in their stores, they also figured out that they didn't have sufficient payment options. So they layered a few in, which, again, you'll only be as good as the information that you're allowed to collect. But the great thing is that once you have this information, then it's pretty easy to act on it and affect a quick change, right? Like, I'm sure you guys are using marketing attribution surveys. They're so important to have. If you find that a good majority of your traffic is coming from the podcast that you were mentioned on last week, divert your ad dollars and try to continue to promote that and ride that wave. There's a lot of interesting actionable insights that you can collect from this. So with that, any other questions on Okendo Connect from here? Happy to get into anything a little bit more specifically. If there's anything for me.
Are you gonna go over pricing?
I am gonna go over pricing.
Okay.
Cool. Before I hop into pricing, I will chat a little bit about. Hi, Matthew.
Hey, so regarding that survey example you just gave,
Mhm.
so let's say you send the survey to 1,000 people and 100 of them are these like power users or whatever. Is there a way to automate the follow-up if they don't fill out the survey or fill out the form? Like, hey, if form is not completed by person in 5 days, like resend or retext.
Yes. So if that's something that if you're using like Klaviyo, for example, we could definitely track that for you. And then if you're using the native Okendo feature, I'm not entirely sure how we would do that, but I'm sure there's a way. So I can connect with my team and get a bit more actionable insights for you there. But definitely within Klaviyo if possible. Yeah. Good question. Thank you. Cool. All right. To touch on integrations, which is very cool. Integrations are essential, right? Your tech stack needs to talk to each other. So we integrate with more than 50 of your favorite ecom platforms. Whatever we don't directly integrate with, like Yotpo Swell, for example, we could always run a Shopify Flow integration to kind of back into that. But our native integrations are exceptionally strong. We work with Klaviyo, Omnisend, Attentive, PostScript, Gorgeous, Loyalty Lion, etc., etc. So we're pretty easy to plug and play into that stack as well. Our meta integration is very deep. To use a strange pun, but you're able to turn your reviews into ads, create lookalike audiences based on review data and those zero-party data that you collect via Connect. You could share your reviews to the page, and then we'll also automatically syndicate your ratings to your organic Facebook and Instagram shops. So it's a nice little bump there. We also have a Walmart integration where we're able to syndicate, able to syndicate reviews directly to Walmart.com. Our Google integration is also very powerful, where you can add your star ratings to Google Shopping ads and Google Rich snippets. That will definitely go to increase your return on spend. Excuse me, and your click-through rate. We found that the Office of Angela Scott enabled the integration, and I'll show you guys this. It's very simple to put these integrations together. Go into settings, you go into integrations, and then you really just hit connect. And then once you've connected these, it will automatically syndicate and post. Angela Scott saw a 51 decrease in cost per action, an 81% increase in their conversion rate, and a 91% increase on return on spend just by enabling that integration and displaying the star ratings in their Google ads. So very simple, very easy, exceptionally powerful. On the note of power, our Klaviyo integration is the deepest integration that Klaviyo has with any review platform on the market. So you can send your review request via Klaviyo email or SMS. You can enhance your emails with social proof. So let's say in an abandoned cart email or an upsell email, you can add like a GIF of your latest 5-star reviews or something similar. You can then go to build advanced flows using those Okendo event triggers. So if somebody left a review, then we'll reach out to them and those data properties as well. So if you have blue eyes and you throw in that segment, everybody would get an email or an SMS that says, "Hey, blue eyes, we've got an eyeliner that's going to make them pop." So it really goes to help power personalization with all of the zero-party data that you're collecting via reviews and Connect. WAG is a dog treat brand that we work with. So they were segmenting their email list based on the products customers bought, the dogs that they had, and the age of their dogs. So they created like hyper-focused, relevant experiences for each buyer, which increased their review request click-through rate by 64%. They saw a 423% increase in revenue per recipient and a 300% increase in placed orders. So again, that customization, that personalization is super crucial and really easy to do within Okendo itself. So to touch on pricing, we're really heavily based on Shopify order volume. So that I would say is a main differentiator there. We are month to month, so there's no contract, there's no review. No long-term commitment there. In terms of something else as well, we do have a contract buyout option where if you have a brand who's using another platform and they're stuck in a contract, we're always happy to provide Okendo for free until the end of their term. So that's always an option as well. But within the plans, we find that the Power plan is normally our most popular plan because it comes with the email and SMS integration and some advanced reporting and an onboarding manager as well. The advanced plan is great if you need that additional order flexibility or headless support or API access. And then growth, I would say, is really for a brand who's not looking for the email and SMS integrations. I would say that's the biggest differentiator there. And then pricing for Okendo Connect mirrors Okendo reviews. However, we don't gate out based on plan level. It really just is about like order volume. So all features are available on all plans. And then we have bundle discounts for anybody who's looking to use Connect and reviews. And our ICP is really anybody on Shopify. We're a Shopify app. So with that, we work with brands who fall anywhere from like $1 to $50 million in revenue. We work with pretty much any vertical you could think of, but specialize really heavily in like that CPG, beauty and skincare, fashion, food and bev, like pets, homewares, food and bev, electronics, and things of that sort. We are fully worldwide. We were actually founded in Sydney, Australia, and we have our team is based completely over the world. So we support merchants in more than 15 languages. We have 24/7 support that is absolutely fanatical. I am always your first point of contact, or always happy to be your first point of contact. What I don't know, I will loop in a CSM or somebody else who does know. But we're really, really fanatical about our customer support and take a fair amount of pride in that. So with that being said, thank you all for listening. We are happy to give your first 60 days of Okendo for free for any brand who comes via a Smart Sites recommendation until the end of the month. But again, I'm always here, always happy to help strategize, chat a little bit more in depth about specific brands. Cass and I work pretty closely together to do like account audits as well. So I'm happy to be more of a strategic partner rather than a talking head on a lunch and learn. So with that being said, I will stop my rambling. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything I can chat about a little bit more specifically? Yes, Mike. Oh, Mike and Matthew. Okay, cool.
Thank you for presenting. My question is, if say a Shopify site gets Okendo and they get some reviews on it, and then they change their mind on Okendo because of price or for whatever reason, is there a way that they keep the like review text and everything that was put in, or that kind of disconnects, if you cancel, or how's that work?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you'll be able to download your reviews via CSV. Normally other review platforms will then just take that CSV and upload it into their platform. So you shouldn't lose that data or information. And that also includes like any UGC as well. And when somebody like goes to submit their review, they're signing a terms like or clicking a yes for a terms and conditions that says that you as the brand own the content and have the ability to distribute across anywhere.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course. Matthew?
Yeah, I'm curious what the typical like sales process looks like. So let's say we send you a lead. What happens from there? Do you schedule like a demo? And then, yeah, I guess, can you walk me through what the typical like handoff situation looks like?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I would say handoff definitely depends on, at least initial conversations with the agency. Coming from the agency side, I can guarantee you that if the next step is follow up with the agency, we will not be reaching out to the merchant first. That's a point of contention that I dealt with quite a bit and would never want anybody else to deal with. So when the lead is submitted, we normally ask for next steps. It's either follow up with agency, follow up with the merchant, or follow up with both. Normally I'll shoot over an email that says, "Hey Matthew, thank you for the recommendation to Nike. Here's Matt, one of our sales team guys. He'll be able to kind of take it from here." And then either you would interface directly with Matt or the brand would. And then there's a bit of a platform demo. And then we chat about pricing and any offers that we have going on as well. And then just kind of moving forward. Alternatively, we do have agencies who are very heavy-handed in their setup for brands. So we have some agencies who, like, when they onboard a new brand, they just kind of bring Okendo to them. So at that point, it's really just like more of an integration question, right? Like, we're migrating over from Yotpo. Like, how do we do that? So it does depend a little bit, and we're happy to follow your lead. Is that helpful? Cool. Hey, Cass.
Yeah, so you just mentioned Yotpo, and I actually wanted to know, like, are there any reasons why people switch over from Yotpo?
There are a fair amount of reasons why people switch over from Yotpo. I would say number one is pricing and contract term. Again, we're month to month, so you do kind of end up choosing to work with us rather than being stuck in a contract for a year. And we find that we're normally less expensive than anybody who's using Yotpo. people will find like a reduction in platform costs. Additionally, there's better support, and I've definitely found that on my agency side. We really are 24/7, and we're always responsive, and that service is a really big selling point as well. And then Yotpo's file size is also quite heavy, so we find that people come over from Yotpo for like just better performance, better pricing, and the ability to showcase UGC, as well as the Klaviyo integration, just to be able to really use that, because we are Klaviyo's best review integration.
Awesome.